warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this occasion, I would like to share about basic principles in understanding semantics. So, happy watching. In this first slide, you can see that I put many terms here. It includes semiotics, pragmatics, semantics, and syntax. But I should start the discussion on classifying pragmatic semantics and syntax under semiotics. For Rudolf Carnot, semiotics is the study of signs and symbolism, and we should believe that the word, letter, and any part of language is a kind of or is a part of semiotics. Therefore, pragmatic semantics and syntax is also derived from the study about semiotics. We just focus on semantics here in a common, or I mean that in general framework. Semantics is the study of meaning in a language. Hey everyone, here I provide you the definition of semantics. For Wiranegara, semantics is the study of meaning expressed by the words, phrases, and sentences of human language. Why it should be human language? As we know that every life in this world can feel, but you have to notice that only human can mean. Therefore, we just focus on studying human language, not the other language. And surely, for this definition, we can see that semantics has a certain function. It is to explain how human beings can use their language to convey information about the external world. Yes, external world, it doesn't mean that that is the opposite of internal world, I mean. So no, please, just focus on the external world. Something or everything that we can see, we can hear, we can touch, and we can feel. There is one quotation from Wiranegara here that is very interesting to be discussed. Okay. Here, Wiranegara states that meanings in semantics are derived from the intention of the speakers, their psychological states, and also social, cultural aspects of the context in which utterances are made. I somehow a little disagree with these quotations, with this theory, because it is closely related to the study of pragmatics. There are so many opinions towards whether semantics and pragmatics is just similar, but I still believe that both of them, I mean that both semantics and also pragmatics are different, but yes, sure, they are closely related. Okay, now before we study more deeply about semantics, we have to know some elements which are very important to be understood to take the real meaning. The first is knowledge. Knowledge. It is defined as any information of a language that accounts for speakers' linguistic ability and creativity. Ability, in the following slide, we could see that it relates closely about competence. So, the ability refers to linguistic competence used by the speakers to convey communication. In simple way, we could also state that ability is what parts of language should be used by the speakers. The speakers may use some definite words or phrases or clauses and sentences and also symbols or others. Just like others mean just like gestures, it is a kind of a way of communication too, yeah. So the ability, how is the level of ability of the speaker or the sender of communication? And the following is creativity. Creativity relates to images of how the language is used. Talking about image, it can be replaced by impression. Yeah, it is not picture but impression. So the meaning of image here refers to impressions. There are so many images of language, but I just explain two kind of images here. The first is identical image. For this identical image, we can see here welcome most relates to Germany, namaste, for India, and selamat datang for Indonesia, and marhaban for Arabian, and ahlan wa sahlan maybe also Arabian, but was more closely to Greek. Yeah. So identical image is the impression that the communicators could see that, oh, while I communicate with this person, I could see that he is from Indonesia, he is from he is from Germany, and some countries, other countries. The second image I present here is hierarchical image. It is the impression of how the language used based on levels. Yeah, there are 3 levels of language image based on the hierarchy. The first is colloquialistic. In the other words, colloquialistics is slang language, the level of slang language that it is very it is not stable actually, because it is easily to be changed. Yeah, colloquialistic is changeable and there is no definite or standardized meaning of that. More currently, we just know the phenomena of the use of anjay. Anjay for somebody else it relates to something negative, but actually we could see that it is only an expression of how like this. So it depends. Colloquialistic is changeable and there is no standard. And the next image is informal. Yeah, informal actually it is mentioned. Yeah, it is mentioned in the dictionary, but it is not appropriate to be used in forum or formal occasion. The last hierarchy is formal. The formal language. Formal language is somehow can be claimed as the highest level of hierarchy of language. Formal language is used for formal forums and also used in the written letters. I mean that in written essay, yes, surely. And this classification of levels of image can be claimed as the creativity of how human beings use the language. If that creativity always happens in the phenomena of using language, just like down, boring, and exciting are at different levels. For done, done is a colloquialistic. Done can be meant as selesai, but here done somehow it is defined as membosankan. For the informal, we have boring. It is boring, yeah, in casual conversation or daily conversation. But for the formal forms or written language, we have to use not excited, yeah, more appropriately used. And chap or plug, guy is for informal and the man for formal. Nick, pilfer, and steal, those are mencuri. But nick for colloquialistic or slang language, and pilfer for the informal, and steal for more formal. Look, check, and verify also, yeah. So this is the real example that humans are always creative in using the language. Okay, the other elements that we have to know before we decide the true meaning of sentences or utterances, it is compositionality. Compositionality is a principle in semantics that understand the meaning of an expression is a monotonic function together with the manner combined. So this quotation, this theory would show us that there is the range, discussion. There is the range of different discussion in semantics and pragmatics. Because in semantics, we just focus on monotonic function. Monotonic function refers that semantic can only mean the sentences or utterances of the speakers based on the monotonic or the intention of the speakers itself, and it doesn't relate to the other aspects such as social cultural aspects. Yeah. The next, meaning relation. Okay, talking about meaning relation, it is defined as the associations derived from every word's related properties. By having knowledge about meaning relations, we could say that table has a relation with the chair. Yeah, table is closely related to the chair, and goodness is the opposite of badness. So somehow we would like to discuss about some relation of words in this semantics course. So meaning relation derive from the many words that have, whether it is the opposite relation or similarity relation or the closeness relation, or somehow we would like to discuss it later, inshallah. The following: X is a way of that you have to understand before you decide the true meaning of utterances or sentences is act. Acts in semantics refer to ways or actions performed while individuals express something to present information. Talking about acts, we can see that people or individuals may use affirmative sentences, may use negative or negation sentences, or may use question or interrogative sentences. And somehow people may also use command, ya, kata perintah, tolong belikan saya bakso. This is a kind of command acts, ya, command acting. And questioning, just like, do you love me? This is for question acting. So every of you have to know and understand well about the acts of communications. Right. That we have to understand before we go further for more deeply discussion. But semantics is interpretations. It is defined as the message conveyed from words, sentences, and or symbols due to the receiver of communication. So, someone that have the interpretation is the receiver. So the sender just like giving the utterances, while the receiver of communication can interpret it. Whether the interpretation is right or false, I mean that incorrect, it should be based again back to the competence of the sender of communication, how they use the language, how the words used are related to the other aspects. Yeah, so interpretation is the key for communication in the discussion of semantics. Well, from this video, we can conclude that before we go further for the discussion about semantics, all of us have to understand well about knowledge in communication, and then compositionality and meaning relations, the acts, and also interpretation of communication. So, thank you very much for your attention. See you in the next vlog or video. Stay healthy, stay happy, and wassalamualaikum.